Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 67 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim El Mago Van Stratton. Alongside me is Rodney Newpol. Rodney, good evening. Happy Tuesday. We are back in our normal spots for the show. How are you, my friend?
Do well. Got a little rain in my background here, so I like listening to rain as long as it doesn't become too heavy or storm. Got some windows open, so the sounds are immaculate tonight. The vibes are high. Looking forward to the show. Lots to talk about tonight, and a ton of sports going on. So I'm doing great. And you are well, as I assume.
I am well. Thank you for asking. Yes, you assumed correctly. Things are good in Timland. We are in the conference finals for both the NBA and the NHL. Baseball's in full swing. We just came off a great major in golf. We have another good weekend. The Monaco Grand Prix is coming up on Sunday. I know you'll be watching that. I know you're a big Monaco Grand Prix guy, all things Formula One. But yeah, we got a lot to get to in the next hour or so. And as always, as people trickle in, make sure to come in and join the show, join the conversation. There's apparently a new feature that we might try out here where like comments as they come through, rather than us Rodney deciding what he wants to let through, they might just come through on their own. So We're going to see what happens with that. So,
wow, that is mind-blowing. That is mind-blowing that in 2025, something like that can actually happen. So you're telling me we could be talking, somebody could come on here and get on the comment section. They could send it and it would come across while we're talking.
Yeah. Yeah. The good thing about StreamYard is that it's really good at getting all of the hottest technology of 2008 and just bringing that into the now. It's very exciting.
Thanks, StreamYard. Appreciate it. Yeah. That's how about we try it out? Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. So as people are trickling in, if you want to make your opinions heard, then shoot us a text. People are watching on Twitter. You can watch us on YouTube. Follow the show, by the way. It's Stupid Sports Show on Twitter. It's not X. It will never be X. And with that, let's get to it, man. NBA, NHL, Final Fours. Well, first of all, before we break down each series here, your overall feelings about both. So there's 4 series in total, right? We the 2 from the NBA, 2 from the NHL. There are not a lot of big name, big market signature franchises. Not to say that there aren't any. Obviously, we have the Knicks in the NBA, but there's a lot of the surprising markets. There are great players, great teams, but you don't have the legacy franchises, right? That maybe you were hoping to get. So let's just start there. What are your thoughts? What's your excitement level for the NBA and NHL conference finals here as they get going?
I mean, I'm not overly excited, but anytime you get the Final Four in any bracket type tournament, I enjoy that. Just seeing what's going to unfold. I mean, I think my favorite of the 4 series remaining is going on right now in that Western Conference of the NBA because it does pit 2 of the superstars of the next 15 years in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Anthony Edwards. I mean, that's a great matchup. That's a great budding rivalry, I think. I do enjoy more than some when the Knicks are good and relevant just because I like the story of the Big Apple being there a few times. Going to a Knicks game last year, like that story a little bit. In the National Hockey League, I can't say I'm overly excited about either series necessarily. It's nice to see Connor McDavid going to get another chance. I mean, Carolina and Florida feel like they've been around for several years now.
We've seen it. Yeah, was it last year or 2 years ago where it was the conference final and Florida swept them? Maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah. So we've seen it before, and Dallas. I wouldn't call Dallas an overly exciting team to watch. So My interest
Yeah.
lies a lot more in the NBA than the NHL right now. That's for sure. And I think both NBA series will be good. I really do.
Yeah. So I'm kind of with you there. So I could definitely say both NBA series are going to be a lot of fun, very entertaining. Uh, I am I'm surprised that there are so many people that are like down with the Knicks, that are happy to see the Knicks get to this point. And I honestly feel like most casual NBA fans are like, if you don't have a dog in the fight here, I feel like most people are rooting for the Knicks over the Pacers. I just and maybe that's just because they feel like the Knicks are more entertaining. They feel it might be a better storyline if they're in the finals. Not to say that the Pacers aren't a good team. And, the Pacers have looked really impressive clearly against the Cavaliers. Looked good against the Bucks. They took down multiple superstars on the way to get here.
Right.
But I think that a lot of people are rooting for the Knicks, and I'm right there too. Like I'll be rooting for the Knicks in this series, and I would like to see them in the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I mean, yeah, Carl Anthony Towns. I don't dislike him. I do like Jalen Brunson. He's an Illinois guy. He grew up in the northern suburbs, so he's got some ties. I don't know. I like the team a little bit.
yeah,
I think Tom Thibodeau probably deserves his chance to get to a finals and maybe win an NBA championship. I mean, he's been known as one of the better coaches, although his tactics aren't always successful in the long run because he does run his guys into the ground. But no, it should be fun. And I don't know. I don't dislike Indiana either. I don't know if more don't like maybe the small market there. I don't know what it is on Indiana. I don't think they're hated. I just don't think people are
no,
falling in love with them.
it's not a hated thing. Um, it's a weird combination where the Knicks are the bigger market, yet they feel more like the lovable underdog
Yeah.
that and it feels insane to describe, but I mentioned this on Friday about the Pacers, where since 1990, only one other team has made the playoffs more often than the Indiana Pacers, and that's the San Antonio
Yeah.
Spurs. So that means making the playoffs year after year. Pacers 27 of the last 35 years, they've been a playoff team. Now, granted, they haven't won a championship, but like we're used to the Pacers being competitive and sort of just being in the mix, whereas the Knicks went 15 years without a playoff spot. And this is
Right.
their first conference final since the year that the shortened year that they made the NBA finals is an 8 seed. A little bit fluky. So this is like it's a weird bit. It's like that's how I'm going into it. Like the Knicks to me feel like the underdog that you want to see make it, and just to see what happens and how it plays out. I will say this though, and I know that we're not giving our official predictions yet, but I felt immediately that whoever wins this Western Conference final between Minnesota and OKC is going to be your NBA champion. As much as like we're talking about the Knicks and the Pacers, as of right now, injury can obviously change a lot of things, right? But
Oh,
it
yeah.
just feels like OKC is so far ahead of everyone else. But then if Minnesota finds a way to beat them, I look at the way that Minnesota's built. I think the T-Wolves should be favored against whoever they face. If they end up in the NBA finals. That's sort of how I'm viewing this NBA series playoffs right now.
Yeah, and I mentioned it. Well, back to Knicks Pacers. I mentioned it last week. Like it's back to like the old school '90s matchups here between the Knicks and the Pacers. Although none of those guys are there, but I do find it interesting. Reggie Miller is on the call on TNT in the final year of his TNT deal, and final year of TNT being NBA host. So
This is the
kind
final,
of
the final series for
yeah.
TNT, right? This is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reggie's going to NBC Sports next year. So it's interesting to kind of look back on those series because I did do some research and look back on those series, like the Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller series were some good ones. And, and I feel like now shifting to the West, I feel like maybe this could be the start of an SGA Anthony Edwards meet in the playoffs multiple times and battle each other. I would be surprised if we don't see multiple versions of this series over the next several years.
Yeah, it's always so hard. Well, it used to be, honestly, in the NBA that you could confidently say, oh, yeah, these are the best teams in a conference. We'll see them face off multiple times. But now we're going on 7 straight years where there will be a new champion.
Yep.
Um, the parity in the NBA, whether it's the introduction of the second tax apron that has made it impossible to really build sort of a super team. Whatever you want to point at, like it is harder to be consistently dominant year over year. Like the Nuggets have the best player in the world, Nikola Jokic. They've made it to the finals once during his career. The Bucks during Giannis's prime, one final. The Celtics built a great team. That's 2 finals, 1 championship. But who knows if they'll be back anytime soon because of the Tatum injury. They're going to have to probably shed some serious payroll this year. The point being, like, it is really hard to just look at a team and say, oh yeah, they're not going anywhere. Like they're going to be around a long, long time. But like if there are 2 teams, to your point, where you could absolutely see them make a good lengthy run of title contention, I think it's these 2. Just because not only do you have the superstars, but both teams are really deep.
Yeah.
They're cost controlled. So OKC has these guys locked up and they're young and they have picks. Minnesota has a deep team where like their core is pretty much in place. So it's not like they have a very small window, and if they miss it, then they gotta make a bunch of roster changes, kind of like what's happened with Milwaukee or whoever else. Like we could see these 2 same groups together for a few years, and I think that there's a good chance that we'll see at least one more playoff series very soon with these 2 teams.
Yeah, and I think really about the only team we can confidently say that in the East is probably Cleveland, right? I mean, you said it the other day. You feel like Cleveland's going to continue being back.
In theory,
yeah.
But even Cleveland, this is something where I don't know if we've talked about it on the show yet, where their big extensions for, well, I know that they have Mitchell long term. They have Garland as well. I think Mobley's contract extension kicks in, and he is going to take a significant increase in pay starting next year. So it might result in Jared Allen getting traded. It could result in, them having to move some of their depth pieces. And also, this is a Cleveland team that, for as good as they've been, they have yet to make a conference final yet. That's kind of what I'm saying here. Like, we can't assume anything. This is OKC, this group that they've been putting together. This is their first conference final with it.
Yeah.
So it's who's to say, right? Who's to say that Cleveland for sure is going to be back and is going to be a 60-win team next year. Who's to say? It's become harder and harder to do that in the NBA.
You want to make our NBA picks now and then move to NHL?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's start with the West, where what's going on right now. It is a competitive game. I just saw where Oklahoma City took the lead, but we're still in the third quarter. So
yeah, they're going back and forth.
Yeah,
they're going back and forth right now. Minnesota got off to a really hot start. They're shooting the ball well from 3, but OKC is just OKC, man. It's the fact that they can play so deep. They got 10 guys out there, and it seems like everyone can be so rested and confident that SGA can sit, that Holmgren can sit, and they're not gonna lose anything from it. It's unbelievable. Yeah. Remind me, dude. So we obviously both had OKC against Denver.
Yeah.
And then you picked Golden State over Minnesota, or did you also take Minnesota?
I took Golden State in 7.
You took Golden State. Yeah. And I have Minnesota there. So where are you at for this series right now? I'll give us a pass here because there's 7 minutes left in the third quarter, but it's a 2-point game.
Yeah.
Where are you at with it?
I'm taking Minnesota in 7. I'm taking Minnesota in 7. I love what I see out of Anthony Edwards. Obviously, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be the MVP, but I love what I see out of Anthony Edwards. I love their defense and the way they compete. I think Minnesota gets it done in 7 games. That would require at least 1 road win, and maybe that's tonight. Maybe it's game 7. I mean, it would have to obviously be game 7. So or they're going to have multiple road wins. So I'm going to take Minnesota in 7 games. I'm like 51-49%. Like I'm not dying on the Minnesota Timberwolves cross here. I'll take Minnesota in 7 would be my pick.
I think Minnesota can win this series. I don't know if I would take Minnesota in a game 7 in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
That it could. I don't know if it like. I feel like it would be like Timberwolves would win it in 6, like if they did it. But yeah, I really like Minnesota. I love Anthony Edwards. Julius Randle has been still incredible. He had 4 threes, probably in the first 14, 15 minutes of the game tonight. I have to go with OKC here. And if Dan's listening, I'm sorry. I would love for Minnesota sports to finally just get one, just get something, right? It's the most overlooked, suffering fan base in all of sports, the Minnesota sports fan. So I would love it, but the Thunder are, by all of the things that you look for in a champion, the Thunder check every box. I know I said the same thing about Cleveland, but I have to double down. And OKC is a 68-win powerhouse. They have the league MVP. They have depth. They have home court advantage. They have health. They have all these things. Like Minnesota, I think we're kind of overlooking the fact that Anthony Edwards left the game at one point against Golden State with an ankle injury. Ended up being okay, but he also went to the locker room today, rolled his ankle. Like, he's not playing at 100%.
Right.
And that's something that you also have to sort of factor into. So I will take Oklahoma City. And you know what? I will take it in 7 games as well. I do think Minnesota absolutely pushes them, and it's going to come down to that last game. And we're going to differ, and that's totally fine. I think Minnesota's great. I'm going to play it safe here and go with the home team and the title favorite.
We'll go to the East. I'll start in the East. Knicks, Pacers. I've been a doubter of the Pacers all along. I mean, I just have. Like, I believe I took the Bucks.
Yeah.
I know I took the Cavs. And I'm going to take the Knicks. I like, the Knicks have the home court advantage. I think they have a couple of the better players, Brunson and Towns, although Indiana is very deep. They are deeper, 100% deeper. But the starting 5 for the Knicks continue to get it done. Obviously, barring injuries, you obviously hope no injuries happen in the Western Eastern Conference Finals and the NBA Finals. I'm going to take the Knicks in 7 games. It goes to Madison Square Garden like June 1st, something like that, and the Knicks get it done in 7, and mayhem ensues in the Big Apple. I'll take the Knicks in 7.
We're gonna be different again, man. I know I said I'm rooting for the Knicks. Like I am. I want them to win. There's something about the Pacers where it. I'm trying to think of a team from past NBA seasons that just gets really hot at the right time, that just gets overlooked, and that just continues to win. Kind of a little bit like Minnesota last year.
Yeah.
We didn't really give them too much of a chance, and then it's like, oh, they're in the conference finals. And I know that like Minnesota ended up losing in the conference finals to Dallas. The Pacers, like the Knicks this year were a better team than the Pacers. But I think Indiana's just playing really, really well. The way that they just decimated a amazing Cavaliers team. I mean, that Cavaliers team this year was amazing. They were the Eastern Conference. They were my Eastern Conference pick. They were my NBA Finals pick. And the Pacers made quick work of them. They're clutch. They're deep. They can say they have legitimate postseason experience. And that you forget too. Last year, they went to the Garden, Game 7, and stomped the Knicks. Ended their season.
You're right.
So I will take the Pacers, and I think they'll get it done at home. So I will take them in 6 games. And
you have a very Midwestern NBA Finals.
I do, and it's an NBA Finals that ABC and ESPN and the NBA and NBA fans will despise.
Yes,
they do not want a Pacers Thunder finals. Honestly, like I don't think it matters too much to them who wins the West, but I think they need the Knicks. They want the Knicks bad. But I'm going to take the Pacers. I'm going to say that the Pacers, much to our frustration, win that series in 6 games. And I'm taking a Pacers Thunder NBA Finals that will be won by the Thunder.
That's so gross.
It is gross. It is, but
let's move to the National Hockey League. Now you got to give us a little grace here. We are doing this on Tuesday, and the series has started. The Panthers are up 4-1 on Carolina, but honestly, that does no difference. That makes no difference to me.
No difference.
I am taking the Panthers in 5 games here.
Yep. That's exactly what I was taking. Yeah.
Yeah. I think Carolina will get one. They're going to get one. I think it's probably going to be it may be game 4 just to make sure they don't get swept. It could be game 2 at home, but Florida's just better. Florida's better. Yeah. They're proven. They're playing well. I'll take Florida in 5. You're taking Florida in 5, and that's our first one that we've actually agreed on.
The difference to me, besides like goaltending advantage, coaching, like whatever, both these teams actually have very similar styles. They both play a very physical, like forechecking game. Like it's not a super beautiful high octane offense, right? So they're very similar, but the Panthers just do a better version of it. They know exactly the type of team Carolina is because they're the same type of team. They're just better at it. And they've been better at it for the last couple of years. They played the Hurricanes in a playoff series a couple of years ago, swept them. It's and the fact that they're up 4-1 right now in Carolina, game 1, they're setting the tone here. They're not at all concerned with the Hurricanes, and they shouldn't be. So yeah, I could see Carolina getting one of the games in Florida because it seems like the Panthers, for whatever reason, seem to be much better on the road this year than at home. But I'm with you, man. Panthers in 5. They'll be back in the Stanley Cup again, 3rd straight year.
It's impressive. Western Conference Finals is Dallas and Edmonton. Dallas has the home ice advantage in that series. Connor McDavid's back in the Western Conference Finals. Dallas is a team that most people kind of just wrote off for losing 7 in a row to finish the season. We're a very good team. I think I mentioned this on Friday. Like, we kind of forgot about them because they were really good for a long time, and then they just kind of fell apart late in the year.
Yeah.
Might have just been pacing themselves heading into the playoffs. I'm taking Dallas in 7. I believe that Dallas is probably top to bottom a little bit better than Edmonton. Edmonton obviously has a better top because they have some of the best elite goal scorers in all the National Hockey League. But I think entire roster-wise, Dallas is the better team. I'll take the Stars in 7, which means 3 of my 4 final series go to 7. That'd be fun.
That would be fun. That very, very fun. And also 3 of our 4 final series, you and I will have a different winner picked because I'm taking the Edmonton Oilers. What did I say? Was it a week ago to 2 weeks ago? I said we're going to get a rematch of last year's Stanley Cup, and I'm sticking with it. It's going to be Edmonton again. They looked so good against Vegas. They are pretty much after the first 2 games of that Kings series.
Yeah.
Where they looked terrible. They got blown out in LA. They flipped a switch. They've been on fire since then. Dallas they had a game 7 in the first series. They had a game 6, went into overtime. Like, they're playing some deep hockey games, some long hockey games against really tough teams. And just the speed and attack of Edmonton, I think, is just going to be too much for them. So I will take the Oilers here, and I think the Oilers will get it done in 6 games. And we will have a rematch of last year's awesome Stanley Cup final, where I will not make a prediction on that yet because I don't know how it's going to go. We got to get there first. But, that's where I'm going.
So here's a recap of that. I've got Minnesota Timberwolves and New York Knicks in the NBA Finals, both of them winning in 7 games. I've got.
And for the record, by the way, I hope you're right. Like, in terms of just the enjoyment of watching, I hope you win that. I would want to see Minnesota, New York in the finals.
I've got the Florida Panthers and the Dallas Stars playing in the Stanley Cup. Florida winning in 5, Dallas in 7. You've got Oklahoma City and Indiana playing in the NBA Finals, a very Midwestern NBA Finals. Oklahoma in 7, Indiana in 6. And then your Stanley Cup is one of the – I know I mentioned this last year. That is a long-ass travel from Sunrise, Florida to Edmonton. You've got Florida in 5 and Edmonton in 6. Playing in Sunrise, Florida for the 3rd straight year in June. Congratulations to the Florida Panthers. So that's our predictions.
Remember when the Panthers were just a totally irrelevant NHL franchise?
I do. They're not anymore.
No, they're not. Yeah. Honestly, it can happen to anyone. Like all these teams like, oh, we'll never be good. Like, no, man, you can do it.
Maybe not the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah. Maybe not them.
Hey, can we talk a little baseball for a minute? I want to talk about this Ivan Herrera guy. Now, my Cardinals lost tonight 5-4 to Detroit. Have been playing well, came back from 4 down. Did not give Skubal the win. He was not able to get the win in that one. Detroit scored 1 in the 9th and won that game. But Ivan Herrera, the Cardinals catcher. Now, I understand it is a small sample size because he did get hurt midseason, but he is batting .439. Now, he's not eligible for the batting leader right now. He would have to play a bunch of games in a row and continue to hit well, but he's hitting .439 on the season. What do you know about Ivan Herrera, the 24-year-old Ivan Herrera?
He's only 24.
He's only 24.
I don't know why I had him as like 28, 29. I thought he'd been around for much longer. Well, I knew that he was the player that the Cardinals had who made them comfortable to move Wilson Contreras to first base permanently. Like, okay, they got Ivan Herrera. Is it Ivan or Ivan? How
I call him Ivan.
Ivan. All right. Well, anyway, Mr. Ivan. I had no idea he had this dog in him. This type of hitting prowess, and from a catcher, no less. That's particularly impressive. And it's kind of funny. I was just perusing through some stats today. I mean, the Cardinals lineup, man, they haven't really gotten much from Arenado. I know he homered today, but like he's been struggling a little bit. But with Herrera and Nootbaar, Brendan Donovan, like that team can hit a little bit. That team can hit. So, and Herrera obviously right there at the center of it. He's hitting 5th for them. It's that type of contribution from an unexpected source is always going to make it a lot easier to win games. Yeah.
Brendan Donovan's hitting .330. And Mason Wynn, obviously off to a slow start early in the year. He's up to .267 now. Obviously you can't boast about .267, but much better and much more of the numbers I would think that we would end up at the end of the year. But I did need to throw that Ivan Herrera nugget out there. 24-year-old hitting .439 early in the season. Other baseball, Cubs scored 14 today on 21 hits against the Marlins. 14 runs. Your Yankees are now 9 games over 500. Aaron Judge hit yet another home run. Tell us about this Aaron Judge guy.
There's not much that needs to be said about Aaron Judge. He's incredible. He's got a WAR right now. I think. Well, maybe it's gone up since I checked earlier, but I think his WAR going into today was already 3.7. It is May 20th, and he's almost at 4 wins above replacement as a player. He is. He should win 2 MVPs just for this year alone. He's still 403 on the year, 1253 OPS. The guy's incredible. He's a stud. But that's not who I wanted to talk about. I just added this topic. I don't even know if you've seen it in the show banners yet. Can we talk Trent Grisham for a second?
Sure. Let's do it.
You know Trent Grisham. He's been around for a while, right?
He has been. Yeah, he's been around a while.
Yeah. So Trent Grisham was kind of, carving out this career a little bit as a utility outfielder of sorts, and ended up being one of the throw-ins in the Juan Soto trade from San Diego to New York, where San Diego's like, all right, you know what? We're shedding some salary here. Take Trent Grisham off our hands. Didn't think much of it. He was sort of their backup outfielder last year. Soto has his year in New York, goes across town to the Mets. Trent Grisham opens this year as the 4th outfielder, and now we're sitting here May 20th. He's taken over as the starting center fielder for the team. He's batting .274, He's got 12 homers on the year with 22 RBIs, his 960 OPS. He's now hitting second for the Yankees, right in front of Aaron Judge. And I last I checked here, Juan Soto doesn't have 12 homers for the other New York team.
No.
Last I checked, Juan Soto doesn't have a 960 OPS for the other New York team.
Can I give you a quick nugget on Trent Grisham?
Yes, please do.
In 2022, Trent Grisham hit .184 for the season, which was the lowest in the entire Major League Baseball of all of those that qualified for batting average. He was the worst qualified hitter in all of Major League Baseball. 2022.
My introduction to Trent Grisham was in a playoff game. I think it might have been a wild card game for the Brewers, and he had a brutal error in right field that ended up costing them the game. That was my introduction to him. But you know, he became a major leaguer. He had some moments, but yeah, he was like a very, very, very rough stretch for a couple years, and was pretty much looking at like you're going to be a fourth outfielder if you are going to be in the majors at all. And now he is in the top 3 of the New York Yankees, the best offense in the American League. It's wild. It's wild. And he's been great. I don't know if, you know, it's hard to say that like, oh, he's just going to do this the entire year, but clearly he's in a good spot right there, and they're letting it ride, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, he's been fantastic.
It's always cliche to hear when we hear announcers talking about it, but the change of scenery has done Trent Grisham well. And apparently he likes the Big Apple. He likes Yankee Stadium. He likes that. Is he bat lefty? He's left-handed, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So is he hitting it out of right field right over the 185 wall over there?
The short porch. Yeah. I mean, this is my thoughts on the short porch. If people are so upset about it, then fix your own stadiums and put your own short porch in. Every team has the ability to give themselves a hitter-friendly park, and they choose not to.
One more baseball nugget I want to get to. And we're kind of going off what we thought we might do here, but I really need to bring this up because I want to know what the hell's going on here. The Baltimore baseball Orioles. Awful. I mean, this team is just absolutely horrific. They're about ready to go to 15-32 on the season. They're going to lose their 8th straight game. They were my survivor last week. Mm-hmm. They did not win a single game. The week before I had the Cardinals. They did not lose a single game, so that's a plus. The next week I have the Baltimore Orioles, and they did not win a game, and they have not won to start this. What's going on in Baltimore? I know they have some pitching issues. A lot of pitching issues.
Well, the pitching issues are they have no pitching. Like Grayson Rodriguez out. He got hurt in early March, hasn't pitched yet this year. Kyle Bradish is recovering from Tommy John or some type of long-term injury. Tyler Wells, another guy, long-term injury. I mean, they have a full starting rotation of IL guys essentially, and the ones that are healthy have been really bad. So like they're just not pitching at all. That's the main thing. Now they could probably say, you know what, this year is going to be a fluke because the offense is still young and there's a lot of potential there. But they're saying, you know what, this year we just didn't have arms. We'll get some guys that'll come back. We'll be fine next year moving forward. But like, besides that, like Adley Rutschman's barely hitting above 200. He hasn't been all that great. Dylan Carlson's. Do you know what Dylan Carlson is hitting for the Orioles this year?
Yeah, but he just got called back up because Tyler O'Neill got hurt again. But I do not know what he's hitting. I do not know what he's hitting.
Well, actually, you know, he's only at 20 at bats, so it's not really fair. But he's hitting 050 so far through 20 at bats.
So he's 1 for 20. They also had Kyle Gibson, who they released.
Yeah, who was one of their acquisitions that was supposed to sort of hold the rotation down a little bit, but he was atrocious.
Yeah, you got what, 5 starts?
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like it's just one of those years where the Orioles, I'm hoping for their sake that they don't look at this and be like, well, the whole thing failed. We need to blow it all up. We need to shop Gunnar Henderson. Like, I think this is just a year where none of their pitchers were available. It is what it is. You move, you just it's a wash, and you build for 2026.
And they fired their manager, so they're going to have.
And they fired Brandon Hyde. Yeah, but like, and that's the thing too. That's kind of the shitty thing about it, right? What was Brandon Hyde or any manager supposed to do with this starting rotation?
Right.
What were they supposed to do?
Yeah, and Adley Rushman and Gunnar, nobody performing offensively. Like it's obviously terrible pitching, but I mean they're not living up to the billing offensively either. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, there's not much you can do when 5 starters are on the IR.
Right, like they have no starting pitching. There's no manager in baseball is going to be successful with the way that the roster is currently lined up. And that's one of the things that just always bothers me with they look for a scapegoat, and I get it, but it's annoying. It's the same thing with the Rockies. It's like, oh, we need to get rid of our longtime respected manager Bud Black here. We need to get an interim there who could really spark this 7-win team. There's no manager in the history of sports that's going to spark the Colorado Rockies to anything more than what Bud Black was already doing.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
Yeah.
And you can say the same thing, like, honestly, a lot with Derek Shelton and the Pirates. The Pirates are not a good team. What was he supposed to do?
Right.
So I don't know. I think the firing manager thing in baseball should be reserved for a team where you look at the roster, they should be doing well, but there's clearly, reasons. Maybe it's just bad lineup construction. Maybe it's bullpen decisions. But like, you don't fire the manager when the GM gave him 26 guys and 2 of them are major league caliber.
Yeah. No,
it doesn't make sense.
I would agree with that. There's not much he could do, and you're right. He is the scapegoat for that one. Let's go one more topic here that I wanted to get to, and this might be more you than me here. Can Scotty Scheffler be greater than Tiger Woods? Scotty Scheffler is just 28 years old. He continues to be an elite golfer. Now he's 2 majors away, and both of those majors are this year. Can he finish the Grand Slam this year? Can he win the U.S. Open and the Open Championship and just say, I'm done with it right now at 28? I don't know.
Did you pull this topic from like First Take or something? This is exactly how like ESPN would talk about the PGA Championship the day after it happened. Can Scotty Scheffler be greater than Tiger Woods? No. I don't think that we'll see another golfer that will be greater than what prime Tiger Woods was.
Right.
Now, I will say that I think Scotty Scheffler does have a very good chance to be the best player that we've seen since Tiger Woods, which would mean he's had a better career than Rory McIlroy, which means he's had a better career than, any certainly, like Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth, when he first came up, we were having the Tiger conversation, but then, things sort of fell off the rails a little bit. And like Scotty Scheffler, there's a lot that can happen in the career of Scotty Scheffler, and who knows? Like it's hard to win majors. It's hard to be consistently dominant year over year over year. Rory went 11 years between majors, right? It happens. It happens. So, the fact is, Tiger Woods has what, 15 majors?
Yes.
Scotty has 3.
Yes.
So, and he's 28.
Yes.
Like Tiger had a career Grand Slam, I think, within his first 4 or 5 years on the tour. So we need to realize how insane Tiger Woods was as a golfer. But we could also say Scotty Scheffler is really, really damn good. I was saying a couple stats earlier that I saw where Scotty joined Jack and Tiger as the only player since World War II to win 3 majors and 15 PGA Tour events before their 29th birthday. So that's really good.
That's really good.
Scotty, in his first 22 majors starts, he's had 17 top 25s, 13 top 10s, 6 top 3s, 3 wins. It's really good.
Really good.
Really good. He's not Tiger. So that's sort of where I'm at. But I think Scotty can absolutely win more. And I was talking about this too with some friends too. Like, what's a good realistic number of majors that you think he can get? Just when you think about, okay, he's 28 right now. He's going to be 29 in, I think, next month.
10.
You think 10? I see, like, even 10's a lot, man. Like, I was, my number was 8.
Okay. Yeah.
I was 8. So So prime golf, let's say his prime goes until he's 36, right?
Right.
So you have 4 majors a year for the next 7, 8 years or so. He needs to win 5 of those. That's like 5 out of the next 28 majors. It's doable, but like that's still not easy. That's a little less than 20% of the majors for the next 8 years. He needs to be the winner.
Right,
That's
difficult.
And there's going to be some good golfers that come up that we don't know, that are in college right now. They're in high school right now that we don't know. So, like, these are all things you sort of have to consider a little bit, right? Like, we all thought Rory was going to be at 12 majors by now. He just got his 5th. So, golf's hard, and there's a reason why guys like Tiger and Jack are in such high regard. But Scotty has the talent to do it, absolutely.
Yeah. Can I give you a quick shout out to Harris English? You mentioned him on a show that we should play him. He finished tied for second.
It ended up being so weird how whoever tied for second. It was just like he was there. Adam Scott somehow shot up the leaderboard after I did not see him at all throughout the tournament. Bryson totally fell off on Saturday, but somehow finished tied for second as well. But yeah, Harry English, man.
Yeah, Johnny Vegas, who started the event with a 64, followed it up with a 70, a 73, and a 72 to finish tied for 5th. I mean, just anything in the 60s in those final couple days, and he's competing with Scotty there. John Rahm finished tied for 8th. He went 4 under. Some notable duds: Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth,
Ludwig Oberg. Your pick missed the cut.
And Rory wasn't real good either.
No, he barely. He made the cut by a stroke. I think he was on the cut line, and he finished the tournament 3 over. No, he was bad. And look, I was like, all right, chances are this group of 3 powerhouses, one of them is gonna like miss the cut or be bad, and one of them is gonna be good. And I got it wrong. I should have said Scotty, not the reigning Masters champ. I apologize.
Right. Yeah, no, all good. Tony Finau was 74 on the final day. He was doing pretty well. He finished 2 under. But that is over, and now we move to the U.S. Open, which is June 12th through 15th, not too far away.
Can I make a declaration before we get to our lineup for the U.S. Open?
Yeah,
obviously we're a few weeks away from that. Can you just promise me to stop putting Dustin Johnson in our damn lineups?
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, my bad. My bad.
I think it's been a while since you were watching golf, man. Dustin Johnson ain't that guy anymore. It's over.
Apparently not. Yeah, I should probably do some research for the Open, the U.S. Open. Yeah, that didn't go real well. Dustin Johnson, what did he actually finish?
I'm pretty sure that he was last or pretty damn close to it after Friday.
So he 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12 guys finished under or below him, and one of them scratched in the middle of his round on Friday. So Dustin Johnson went with a 78 in day 1 and a 76 in day 2. Bill Gates, B. Gates, shot at 80 on day 1. That hurt him a little bit. Ishii shot at 82 on day 1, and CHI Andre Shih also shot at 82. So not good for Dustin Johnson. Yeah, his days are over. Well, but he, if he had a number, would be on a Mount Rushmore if we were doing his number. Because how many majors did that guy win? How many majors did Dustin Johnson win?
I bet Dustin Johnson only has 2 majors.
That's it?
I'm going to say 2, no more than 3. I'll say 2. I know. Well, he won the Masters. And he won it once, and I think he has a U.S. Open, and that's it.
It's hard to win majors, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he won the U.S. Open in 2016, and he won the Masters in 2020.
Yep, the COVID Masters in November.
Now, he did finish second in both the PGA and the Open. So, I mean,
okay.
That is close to the Grand Slam. Obviously, You can't count it, and it is not a Grand Slam, but tied for second and finished second 2019 and 2020 in the PGA Championship, and in 2011 tied for second in the Open Championship. Interesting. Was number one for 135 weeks. Blast from the past, Dustin Johnson. Yeah, I promise. I will not play him.
No, but I think Dustin Johnson is an excellent example. He's a guy who, during the prime of his career, was considered one of the best golfers in the world. He was the number one golfer in the world. He was a threat to win at every single major, and yet he's going to finish his career with 2 major victories.
That's hard. Yeah.
And if you would have asked 10 years ago, how many majors is Dustin Johnson going to win? I bet you we all say a hell of a lot more than 2. So that's kind of my whole thing with majors. It is hard to just assume that these guys are just going to continue to win year over year. Scotty has the talent to do it. And I think that the way that he just is playing his ball striking, it is the closest that we've seen to Tiger Woods in his prime. But golf is random, is hard, and things could change. But I'm happy that he got his 3rd, and now we could start to have like the Grand Slam conversation if he wins a U.S. Open or Open Championship here soon.
God, Tiger Woods was a freak.
Are you just on Wikipedia just looking at Tigers?
I mean, I know. 15 majors is ridiculous. I mean, more so because you're doing a good job of putting it in perspective for me. Yeah, like I know there's only 4 majors a year. Like I know that, but like thinking about only having 4 majors a year then is like, well, damn, that's hard. And Tiger's sitting with 15, Scotty's sitting with 3. Like, that's not even close, right? Dustin Johnson with 2. What does Jordan Spieth have? 2? I mean,
no. Jordan has 3 or 4, but and he's just missing. He won one of them twice, did he not?
Yeah, no, I think so. But like even at that, like 3 or 4, like you're not even halfway to Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods just a freak. He's just a freak, man. There's really no other way around it. The sport misses him being competitive, and we're not going to see him competitive anymore. But he was a freak.
No. Like Jack had the best career, but there's no golfer in the history of the sport that was better or more dominant at any one time than Tiger from what was it, 97 to 03. 04. Yeah. Like that's insane. Insane. He's good golfer. Good player.
Very good.
Mount Rushmore. Let's do it.
Rushmore. 67 today. Episode 67 of the show. Thank you to the 193 that are tuned in right now. Apparently you guys don't want to use the new comment section. You're afraid of breaking it. So maybe we'll break it in on Friday. But best 67s in all of sports. I have a feeling this is going to end up in a plaque, right? I mean, we can just say that now without doing any research. I mean, it's going to be a plaque, right?
A plaque of, but who's on the plaque? That's the hardest question.
So I'm looking at Major League Baseball because Major League Baseball is the easiest to do these. And our best choice there is Seth Lugo.
Yeah.
Seth Lugo wore 67 for 10 years. Compiled a 17.4 WAR in his career. Honorable mention will be guys like Kyle Finnegan, Francisco Cordova, Brandon Workman. Yeah, not good. Not good. Max Kepler for 2 years. But Seth Lugo, best option.
You think that's bad? The NFL ones are linemen that I've never heard of. The top choice is a former Pro Bowler, 2-time Super Bowl champ with the Miami Dolphins, named Bob Kuechenberg.
Okay.
Yeah, Bob Kuechenberg. Played from 1970 to 1983. From 1980 to 1995, we were graced with another offensive lineman named Stan Brock. Spent the majority of his career with the New Orleans Saints. Then you have Kent Hull, Grady Alderman, Louis Sharp. The first name that I actually recognize is Reggie McKenzie, but not at all because of his playing, but because he was the former general manager of the Oakland Raiders. If assuming that's the right Reggie McKenzie, this could be a different Reggie McKenzie, but I'm gonna take a stab and say that that's the correct one. But yeah, man, I don't feel good about this so far.
Yeah, so we can move to the National Hockey League, which I think is probably going to be our best option here, only because
well,
there's a few
real
names.
quick though, NBA we actually do have one
player that wore it.
Well, there's two players that wore it, but one guy who we could actually make an argument for if we do end up putting a Rushmore on it.
Okay.
Taj Gibson.
Oh, okay. For how long, though?
So Taj wore it from 2018. So not with the Bulls, but 2018, and then has worn it ever since. So through 2025. So yeah, with the T-Wolves, Knicks, Wizards, Pistons, Hornets, he is rocking number 67. It's not great, but something.
No. So National Hockey League. I mean, I don't see great numbers there either, though. I mean, Max Pacioretty did for a little bit, but not very long, and so you can't count him.
No, Max Pacioretty's only worn 67.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. No,
okay.
Pacioretty's got 67 his entire career. That would be for sure the I think the top guy there.
The top guy in all sports, maybe.
So I see for 67, I see Max Pacioretty. I see former Duck, current Penguin, Ricard Raquel, who's been 67 for his whole career. I see Benoit Pouliot, I think former defenseman, hopefully. If I have to question what position he was, maybe he might not be a strong choice. And then Michael Frolik was a longtime winger in the league for about 13 years or so. Lawson Krause, been around probably like close to a decade now. Arizona/Utah Hockey Club legend. Yeah, so it's like, all right, if we try to put together the Mount Rushmore here, it's like Max Pacioretty, Taj Gibson, Seth Lugo, and I don't even know, man.
Yeah, this one doesn't even deserve a Mount Rushmore. It's a plaque. It's the Max
For who?
plaque.
So who even gets the plaque?
Max.
Pacioretty. So it's the Pacioretty plaque?
Yeah.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Honestly, I think that's the play here tonight.
I mean, he's better than Seth Lugo.
Yeah. I mean, Seth Lugo's been pretty good last couple of years, though, man. Kansas City nailed it with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it. There's a plaque, and then again, like when is the next number we're gonna get that's gonna be any good?
You are so sick and tired of these Mount Rushmores. You're just like, just get me to the 80s so we can just do wide receivers and tight ends.
I can get the Vladimir Tarasenko when I get to 74 at least. Or 91. Sorry, I was thinking of somebody else for 70. When I get to 91, he can be.
No, 74. 74 was TJ Oshie, right?
Yeah, Oshie. That was I mixed those guys up. Yeah, TJ Oshie for 74 and Tarasenko for 91, and just be done with it. But no, I don't like the 60s. These are annoying me. We're about done though. We'll be done here, and we get to June, we'll be in the 70s. But
dude, well, hey, guess what? So Friday will be 68. But then next Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's a nice number. That'll be a nice show. That's going to be a nice show.
It'll be a nice show. All right. Well, I think that about does it for the show. I just got the notification that came across. The Florida Panthers dispatched the Hurricanes 5-2 in game 1. Not surprised. NBA, the Thunder pulling away a little bit. 91-79 with a little over 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I love that, like, these playoff games, because in the NBA regular season, you regularly see these 130 to 124s. But then now we get to the playoffs, and it's halfway through the fourth quarter, and one of the teams is sitting at 70-something points.
Yeah.
And we've seen that regularly in the postseason. So it's clear these guys can flip a switch and actually play defense when they want to.
So here's two numbers from the NBA game I want to throw at you. First of all, Minnesota has shot 46 three-point shots. Oklahoma City has shot 17 three-point shots. So a difference of almost 30. But points in the paint, Oklahoma City 50, Minnesota 16. Oklahoma City is getting to the rim, getting to the lane, and converting, and Minnesota's chucking shots. Now, 14 for 46 isn't awful. It's 30%. I mean, it's not dreadful. But the points in the paint are absolutely killing them.
And what's interesting too is you would think that driving to the lane, they would be absolutely dominating the free throw battle. And I think earlier on in the game, Minnesota went whole first quarter without getting to the line once.
Yeah.
But right now, the T-Wolves have attempted 21 free throws. The Thunder have attempted 20 free throws. So so the T-Wolves are chucking way more threes, actually getting to the line as much as OKC is, but they are losing. And it might be tough for them to pull this one out here, down 13 with a little over 5 minutes left now. So, yeah.
All right. So the Substack, sign up for a Substack. I am 73.62 in May. That is 12 units ahead. It's 40 units ahead on the year. We've done it every day in the year of 2025. A couple of the picks tonight. Panthers were on there. Timberwolves were plus 7.5. I took Minnesota. We'll see if they can settle under that 7.5. We're pretty close right now. Got some WNBA picks in there as well. So Major League Baseball. I had the Cubs tonight, so that one picks up a winner. But sign up on Substack. Get the daily picks each day. Sometimes, most of the time in the afternoon. If there's morning games, it'll come in the morning. I was just looking. Is there morning games tomorrow? Oh, by the way, I got asked to do Peoria Chiefs again today. I had to decline. Decline today. Yeah, I had other things come up, but would have been.
What time did they play? Was it another day game?
Yeah, 11 o'clock. It was the third and final education day today to get the kids all out there.
I feel like it was raining at that time.
They played, man. I thought it was going to play. I thought it was going to rain. See, the weather's been wild around here because, like, it might be raining here, but it ain't raining in Peoria. It might be tornado in Peoria, but it ain't raining here. It was pretty. Yeah. It was pretty spotty today. Oh, we do have a comment. It didn't work, bro. It didn't work.
I think. Well, I shut it off. shut it off.
Oh, we don't have to. Do you want to read? Do you want to read your mom's? Yeah, there you go.
Tell Rodney it's Ivan, not Ivan. Ivan, not Ivan. Put the emphasis on the wrong syllable. Well, I don't. It might be. I might be. Hold on. All right, we're gonna settle this, and then we'll get out of the show here.
I think it's Ivan.
Pronunciation guy. Keep in mind, Rodney's also a professional PA, public address announcer, who announces baseball names for a living every so often.
For a living, once every 5 years.
Once every few years. Yeah, he'll get up there and he'll read those names. Damn it, he reads them well. All right, this is gonna drive me nuts here. The only way really to do it, man, is you got to listen to a Cardinals game and however the announcers say it. Because usually these professional play-by-play guys, they know.
So it does look like it's Ivan. So when you go to his Wikipedia, EE-VAHN, Ivan.
Yep, I'm looking at the Baseball Reference right now. Yes, so it's. And what does she say? It's Ivan, not Ivan. No, yeah. So you were right, man. It's Ivan. So,
Ivan.
Yeah.
Ivan Herrera.
Yeah.
Ivan Herrera is 24 years old. He'll be 25 on June 1st. So happy early birthday to Ivan Herrera.
Ivan.
You
know what it is? It's because there's the little this is really bad. It's the little thing above the A.
Yeah.
Right? So that shows where the emphasis goes. Ivan.
Yeah.
Ivan Herrera from Panama.
Hopefully next week we can do the show comments on stage and it'll work. Right? We missed out on an opportunity today, but thank you to Mrs. Chris. Thank you, ma'am, for I win. Thank you, US. Thank you. I did win.
Got it.
Yeah,
winner.
Anyways, thank you for joining us tonight, and come back on Friday, and we'll have more stupid stuff to talk about. Follow us on Twitter, not X, at Stupid Sports Show. No W on the end. W on the end of our Twitter account. And of course, if you miss anything, what can you do, Tim? What can you do if you miss any part of the show?
You could sit in your room and cry about it. Be like, damn it, I should have listened.
Good idea.
When I had the chance, I saw the notification pop up, and I decided to ignore it, and now I look like such a fool. No, you can actually go and listen to all 67 of our shows wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple, iHeart, YouTube, other places that aren't as popular or like
iTunes.
We're there too. Honestly, we're booming on those places. And by the way, we haven't really shouted them out for a while. Shout out to Gateway Sports, man. They host our show on their site as well as some other podcasts. So they do some good stuff there. Make sure to check them out. My one gripe with Gateway Sports, and this is not really a serious gripe, but my one gripe is that I got added against my will into what is very clearly just a Cardinals group chat. Like, I just got thrown into this chat on Twitter that is just talking about Cardinals baseball. I was like, get me out of here, man. But I can't leave. They've been nothing but supportive of our show, but I don't care. So, like, Gateway guys, if you're listening, man, you're not going to get anything from me there. I'm not contributing. You're not even giving Cardinals takes there.
Yeah, I've seen them. I should. I don't know. I haven't been in the conversing mood outside of our show recently. I don't know if I'm growing old and just get off my lawn type guy or what. But
you were so personable and outgoing before. So this is shocking. You loved to just like go and hang out with people for fun.
Yeah. When's the last time I've been seen in public when I besides somewhere I have to be?
Here's a good legitimate question, Rodney. When's the last time you ever just like reached out to a friend and be like, hey man, you want to hang out today? Like, come over, watch the game. Like, hey, you want to grab lunch? When's the last time you did that just to hang out, see a buddy?
So I go to lunch with an older gentleman about once a month, Dave Kindred.
Your dad doesn't count.
Very prominent sports writer. So that doesn't count.
Oh, okay. I said your dad doesn't count.
No, my dad doesn't count. But no, a very prominent sports writer, Dave Kindred, and I will hang out for lunch every once in a while. We went to Culver's about 2 weeks ago. So I got him into Culver's. He's 84 years old. He had mentioned that he didn't really care for Culver's, but it had been a long time because he had the butter burger. And I get it. Like, if you have the butter burger, like, you're either going to like it or not, right? Like, it could be a lot. So I got him on the chicken tenders, and he's hooked, and he wants to continue going back to Culver's. So I feel like I did my work there, and he appreciates Culver's. But anyways,
yeah.
To answer your question, I got nothing.
Yeah, no, I was going to say that in an effort for you to prove how young you are, you decided to talk about your monthly lunches with an 84-year-old sports writer.
Yes, but I will take this time to ask you, NFL Sunday, are you in? NFL Sunday week 1.
You didn't even have to ask. I was just going to show up anyway. Even if you didn't invite me, I was going to be there.
Yeah,
I was gonna be hanging out. I was gonna be hanging out with the Grudens if you guys didn't have a table or a seat reserved for me. I'll be there, man. Of course.
That's the next time I'll be social. So I'll see you in September.
Yeah, man. I will be there for Giants Commanders, right?
Oh yay!
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait for all these other nonsense sports to finish up so we can just focus on football every day. That's gonna be the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here.
All right, man.
Show. All right. This has been another great edition of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth for Rodney Newpel. This is Tim Elmago Van Straten. We'll talk to you Friday. See you guys.
See ya.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newpel and Tim Van Straten.